There was a certain king who acquired so much wealth such that, during his regime, gold was almost as valueless as the stones we see on the road paths. This same man also acquired exceedingly great deal of wisdom and understanding such that, no one can be said to be as wise as him ever since before he was born or after his death. He had 700 wives during his lifetime and about 300 concubines. This man, during the later years of his life, wrote series of books encompassing the lessons life taught him. 3 among these books were added in the Christian Bible, namely, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes and Song of Songs. The name of this man was Solomon. When you read through the book of Proverbs, about 50% of the advice he gave was on how disastrous lust can be in the life of a young man and how it can be curtailed before it's too late. The pages of history are littered with stories of men who would have become so much great in their life only to get limited as a direct or indirect result of lust. Samson was born to deliver and save his people from the oppressions of the Philistines, but this purpose was thwarted. He ended up losing his sight, serving as an instrument of caricature before having to pass away with the same enemies he was born to save his people from. All of these were because he fell in love with the wrong woman, a phenomenon that, for a good number of times, occur as a result of lust that was uncensored. Every man wants to be on top of his world, at least in his distinct field of endeavor. To be able to conquer the world, you must learn to conquer yourself, and a very prominent way to start is by putting your urges in check and under your control instead of being controlled by them. A man who wants to conquer the world starts with taming and putting his desire for pleasures under his command. He never lets himself fall slave to pleasure. The outcome of every lust-driven action is usually not the type to be proud of, it's often the type you regret and wish you never did. Schopenhauer said that, directly after copulation, the devil's laughter is heard. As soon as you've satisfied your hormones, you're back to your normal state of mind, only to be filled with regrets when you look at what you have done. To take back your life by exerting control over lust, here are things you need to do. 1. Have a strong reason to quit. Friedrich Nietzsche said that he who has a why can bear almost anyhow. Before you can be able to efficiently do anything, there must be a concrete reason you wish you get that thing done in the first place, and otherwise, you must surely fail. You don't desire to defeat lust because you watched a random video on YouTube. The desire must be something that comes from within. It must be something you see for yourself a need to do, and not as a result of peer pressure or any other externally motivating factor. Here is my suggestion for you: study your life closely and see a part of it you're seemingly not up to where you are supposed to be as a result of lust. Envision how you could have been much better, visualize the person you should have become if not for the devastating effect of lust. Now, start to live your life as if you are already that person you would have been if there wasn't a devastating effect of lust to pull you back. When the urge comes, remind yourself that you cannot become this man of your dreams if you're constantly overtaken by urge for cheap pleasures. 2. Self-awareness. The first step towards conquering lust is self-awareness. One of the major factors that differentiates humans from other animals is self-awareness. An animal easily responds to every stimuli his environment throws at him, but as human, we are liable to examine certain stimuli and only decide to respond if they are coherent with our internal values. Lust often do not fall from the sky upon us, it comes as a result of certain factors. Take your time to identify possible factors that trigger it within you. Reflect on your patterns of behavior anytime these triggers seemingly have been activated. Avoid those triggers while you're still vulnerable. As you get stronger, you learn to conquer your urge even in the presence of the trigger. Meditation can also be helpful in this fight against lust. Practicing meditation helps you become more present in fullness of thoughts. It equally helps you become more aware of your thoughts and desires. It can lead you to understanding their deepest roots, from where it becomes reasonable to avert them. Education can equally be a benefiting strategy in conquering lust because, getting yourself enlightened about the psychological and physiological aspects of lust can help you understand the science behind your desires. This can demystify them and make them easier for you to manage. Empower yourself with knowledge, and remember that you are in control of your actions. 3. Keep yourself busy. Till the power of your will becomes strong enough that you can be idle and still be able to control your thoughts unto the direction you wish to have it go, you should avoid being idle at all cost. An ancient proverb said that an idle mind is the devil's workshop. The periods of idleness are often the moment we are confronted with the emptiness of life. This unbearable effect would lead us to seek for cheap ways to elude from ourselves the unpleasant feeling of this emptiness. This happens when we have no purpose we live to achieve. When you find yourself idle, the thoughts of lust and several other thoughts your ideal self will not be proud of would be all you battle with. Keep your life busy with your purpose, and when you are idle, you may engage in recreational activities or reading of books. This is a great way of beating idleness till your mind is developed enough to stay on its own and not wander into forbidden dimensions. Cultivating healthy relationships can equally help redirect your attention from lust. Meaningful conversations and activities that promote real emotional intimacy can be really helpful in averting the urges and thoughts of lust. 4. Sexual transmutation. Channeling the urge and the energy that comes with the urge for sex into another thing can be another efficient way to get rid of lust. Napoleon Hill talked about this concept in his masterpiece, Think and Grow Rich. By having your mind saturated with your purpose, during times when lust finds its way creeping into you, you should up immediately and get yourself engaged into another physical activity. This could be exercise and sports, it could be your financial ambitions or even academics, anything. Just make sure they are activities that fuel your passion and whose outcome equally leave you feeling fulfilled. This method has proven from time to time to be very effective against the deleterious effects of lust. 5. Self-discipline. Self-discipline is the major difference between the top 1% and the rest of men. Everyone had a big dream from a young age, but when we look around us, we can see it's not everyone that is living the life of their dreams. One of the reasons it's only a few people that end up achieving their goals and live the life of their desire is that the discipline to focus on these goals so as to see them come to pass is not what everyone has. Set rules for yourself, not only with respect to lust but with respect to other desires as well, particularly those you are quite aware they bring only momentary excitements but regrets afterwards. Nothing good comes out of such things. Things that bring pleasure usually do not lead to greatness. Practice delay of gratification, not just with lust but with even the smallest things of your life. If you can't practice delayed gratification on a small scale, coming at it on a big scale shall be difficult unto you. The urge of lust is not among those you can call insignificant, hence, you must learn to train the army of your discipline and willpower before you can be able to defeat it and gain mastery over your desires.